Here are 10 things you might have missed in the battle between Akaza and Rengoku. Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video so we can make more videos about this in the future. Now without any more delays, let's start the video. Before Akaza appears, Rengoku tells Tanjiro the first step towards becoming a Hashira, which is total concentration constant. After Tanjiro and Inosuke have successfully defeated Enmu and escaped out of controlled demon train with Nezuko, Kamado, Zenitsu, and Kyojuro, the Flame Hashira checks out an injured Tanjiro as Inosuke goes to rescue another passenger. He applauds the young demon slayer for his recently acquired ability to use total concentration constant and says that this is the first step to him becoming a Hashira. Kyojuro then notices that Tanjiro is bleeding from the abdomen and tells him to focus his breathing in order to heal himself, which the young demon slayer manages with some guidance from Kyojuro. The Flame Hashira then tells Tanjiro that if he can manage his breathing, he'll be able to accomplish many more things and become stronger tomorrow than he was the day before. Just as Kyojuro starts to tell Tanjiro that he doesn't need to push himself any further because everyone's been saved, something jumps down just behind the two demon slayers with great force, scattering the dust around them. When Akaza first appears, his eyes glow in the dark, probably to symbolize his predatory nature. The dust clears to show a strange humanoid figure with glowing eyes, where Tanjiro looks and sees a specific kanji in the irises, revealing it to be the upper rank 3, deeply horrifying Tanjiro. He then becomes incredibly perplexed as to why an upper rank would be here of all places. Before adding more to his confusion, the upper rank almost instantaneously dashes towards Tanjiro, swinging his fist to try to crush his skull. Kyojuro quickly unleashes the flame-breathing second form, Rising Scorching Sun, which cuts the demon's arm in half and causes him to leap backwards away from the demon slayers. The first thing Akaza tells Kyojuro is to let him turn him into a demon. This is because Akaza's first priority is strength, and he values it no matter who possesses it. Akaza says that he hates weak humans, and that they disgust him. Kyojuro responds that the two appear to have practically complete opposite moral values. The upper rank then asks if Kyojuro would like to become a demon himself. Kyojuro immediately declines, but the upper rank doesn't back off, saying that he knows how strong the Hashira's strength is just by looking at him, and that he's getting super close to supreme territory. Akaza asks Rengoku to become a demon a total of 6 times. When Akaza uses his demon art, a snowflake pattern appears under his legs. Akaza's blood demon art's name is Destructive Death, and he uses his bare hands and martial art skills to inflict damage to his opponents. When Rengoku attacks with his 9th form, the attack made the sound of a monster. Kyojuro commands himself to set his heart ablaze and burn beyond its limits. With that, he proudly proclaims his identity as the Flame Hashira, as he readies his family's most powerful breathing technique, the flame-breathing esoteric art, 9th form Rengoku. When Rengoku holds Akaza in place, veins pop from his face, similar to what happens to Tanjiro during his battle with the Upper Moon 6, Daki, probably to symbolize the increase in strength when pushed to his limits. After swinging his sword towards Akaza's neck, Kyojuro lets out a shout as he drives his sword deeper in, and as Akaza tries to hit him with a punch to the face, the Hashira grabs his wrist and stops the attack before it reaches him. Akaza is incredibly impressed by Kyojuro's strength, as he managed to stop the demon's attack while his fist was stuck right through his solar plexus. He then looks behind Kyojuro and begins to panic as he realizes that the sun is about to come up. Akaza tries to free himself from Kyojuro's hold, but the Hashira holds on tightly to his wrist, not wanting to let him escape. After Rengoku stabbed Akaza in his stomach using flame-breathing 9th form, Akaza's face looked scared, because Rengoku tried to decapitate him using an upward slash. Luckily for him, he managed to avoid it. The sun was already above the horizon during the fight with Rengoku, but the mountains blocked it, so there's a chance that if the location was different, maybe Rengoku could have defeated Akaza after all. With a loud shout of effort, Akaza tries again to pull himself away from Kyojuro, but the grip of the Hashira, determined, remains firmly around his wrist. Kyojuro's blade moves deeper into Akaza's neck, now reaching its center. Tanjiro yells to Inosuke to move for Kanjuro's sake, and just as the boar-headed demon slayer readies his beast-breathing first fang, Pierce, Akaza manages to pull himself away from Kyojuro. The upper rank quickly jumps backwards, severing his own arms, then runs into the forest next to where they'd been fighting, leaving Kyojuro to fall onto his knees, defeated. It took the sun 1 minute to appear after Akaza managed to escape. How's that for a close call for him? As the demon retreats, Tanjiro throws his sword at Akaza, screaming at him not to run away from the fight and calling him a coward. The insult angers Akaza, and he questions whether or not Tanjiro has a brain. He thinks to himself he wasn't running from Tanjiro, but the sun, and that the battle is already completely decided given Kyojuro's wound. He completes his escape into the forest's shadows. The young demon slayer yells after him that Kyojuro is better than Akaza will ever be, because he fought until the end and didn't let anyone die, and that Kyojuro was the rightful winner of their fight. Tanjiro lets out a final scream and collapses to his knees, crying, and Inosuke starts to shake. Kyojuro looks over at him and smiles, telling Tanjiro to come over to him so they can have a final chat before he dies. If you're interested in more Demon Slayer videos, check out our channel.